Yo. Took a memory dump. I don't feel any better. But I'm going to go ahead and finish number 7. I already did 6. And see how far I can get with the plutocracy preserving law. I'll put this back up on there on the video, just so you can see that word right here, the biggest, boldest letter, or biggest, boldest word, compound word if you want to call it that, I don't care. Anti-sympathism. Are you anti-sympathetic? Are you an anti-sympathyte? Anti-sympathism. Isn't that what the plutocracy preserving law preserves? Anti-sympathism? I mean, if it's a rat race, if it's a cockfighting competition to get to the top, I mean, we have an apparatus that ensures that the competition is lopsided, that those who are already in power are more likely to keep their power and to not have you infringe on there. You can't even encroach on their private property as it is. It's all gated. Armed guard security, they're called bodyguards. Just like the cops. Cops that drive around patrolling, they're not protecting your rights, they're not protecting your safety, they're not doing anything but preserving the power structure that's in place. Making sure that you don't encroach on the private property of the for-profiteers. And if you start behaving in a way that's erratic, it could be a detriment to their property. I mean, even the bodyguards feel like somehow that's their property too. I mean, was it any different from the house slaves? Oh, this is my bedroom. Look how nice and quaint and beautiful it is. I played with a dollhouse when I was a little jit. Now I'm playing with somebody else's dollhouse. Isn't that what an apartment is? Playing dollhouse with somebody else's? And then after a certain amount of time, you have to give it up. Segregation. We thought segregation ended. There's no such thing as segregation. The thing about the military, this is a good example of segregation. If it's in the culture of segregation, or if segregation is in the culture, just like military, you have a ship, or even what they call garrison, the base. You have what they call a chow hall. You have one section that's just for the officers. Another section is for the non-commissioned officers. Another section is for the staff non-commissioned officers. Give or take, and then the other is for the peons, the E1 through E4. That was just my experience. That's what I saw. That was segregation. What else is segregation? Female and male potties. You tell me, in a house, in a private house, that the male and female need to use a separate toilet? Why is it they have to use a separate toilet in public? Is it to safeguard you from potty germs, from potty cooties, or is it just further keeping you divided from having any type of compassion, cohesion, collaborative connection? Tight-fisting, stingy. You have a certain amount of power. What we call our liberties, our privileges, our rights. Tea Party rights. You don't want anybody to have the propensity to revoke your rights, right? Right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm leading you witness. Objection, Your Honor. But you start to accumulate a certain amount of power, whether it's wealth, whether it's political affiliation, whether it's property, people, first class, second and third, fourth class. I mean, if our workers are working for us, aren't they really our property? Hush, hush, don't say that out loud. I mean, there's a contract that anytime you apply for a job, you have to sign their contract. They don't have to sign your contract. You don't have a contract to say, hey, well, I'm going to make sure you sign this. Maybe that was the case in the labor union days. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I've never been around it. But from what I hear, it's after you sign your contract. And then you start to say, well, we have a rights, we have connections, we have a way to undermine or sabotage your for-profit business in the case that you don't show compassion, consideration, and appreciation for your employees. But you accumulated that amount of wealth when you worked there, and you realize how much sacrifice went into getting to that point of prestige, you sure as hell ain't gonna let anybody take that away from you. So you gotta lobby to Congress. You gotta lobby to your local chapter, whatever applies, and say, hey, keep these assholes off my property. Keep them away. Make sure they can't compete on my same level. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, I was here first. Gall. Well, why must they infringe on me? Why must they intervene with what good thing we got? I mean, I'm already giving you X amount of dollars a month for your campaign, right? I don't have to get into that, but what do they call it? Anti-law. I don't know. For-profit cultural hegemony. For-profit cultural hegemony. I mean, if you're selling a product and we call that freedom, the freedom flyers are all over the place, right? You have freedom. You've got freedom. You and I, we have freedom. Well, you got to spread that freedom, because as soon as we start to become defectors, then we got to get other naive patsies. We got to get other schmucks to schlep around our business, to schlep around our businesses, schlep around, schlep around, schlep around. It's a political popularity contest. Isn't that what plutocracy preserving law is? Just an extension of those power structures existing as it is. Uncle Sam is J.P. Morgan Chase's uncle, not your uncle. Uncle Sam doesn't want you. Uncle Sam wants your money. Uncle Sam wants your allegiance power. Uncle Sam wants your dedication, devotion, devout diligence. Dedication, all the other D, support, superlatives, adjectives, what have you. They can't get enough. They need more from you. Uncle Sam doesn't want your rich kids. Uncle Sam wants your poor kids. Uncle Sam wants the minorities. Uncle Sam wants the straights. Uncle Sam doesn't want anything other than what Uncle Sam has already had. Uncle Sam likes the same formula. He likes his dishes best served cold, and that is the bitter truth, right? What I'm saying is it the ugly truth? Is it the truth? I don't know. It's just what I'm saying, is what's coming out. I'm not saying, I know, I'm not on my moral superiority high ground and saying, I've got it all figured out, and anything you say can and will not be interpreted as being right. Stool pigeon hall monitor tattletelling to bodyguards. I've already talked about that. Bring it up again. Stool pigeon, an informant. I like to use the connection to us and wildlife, because we are really just wildlife. Domesticated wildlife.